In this section, I'll be looking at the future trends of EdTech, the driving influence of development in EdTech and the wider issues around the successful integration in FE colleges. So we'll be looking at the future trends according to leading figures in the educational world. Gamification, active learning and personalisation are key among the characteristics that will define education in the coming years. Another key player is gamification. Gamification enhances the learning experience by motivating its learners and makes the learning interactive and engaging. It also can help with improving knowledge absorption and retention. It is already being used in the classroom, but it's forecast to play an increasing role in how education will adapt in the future. Augmented and virtual reality has just begun to find its way into the classroom, with expectations to become one of the best e-teach tools in the classroom in the next few years. AR and VR provide a completely immersive learning experience, creating visual, auditory and kinesthetic experience for the learner. Statistics confirm that students remember 90% of the material if it's learned through a great experience. However, advanced technology is often expensive. Without investment in modern education, virtual reality will only be accessible by the rich and will create inequality in education. Personalisation is also on the agenda as a hot topic for future EdTech in the classroom. AI data analytics can be used to enhance personalised student learning preferences and content, as well as developers using it to design specifically for new educational needs. The increase in EdTech innovation will demand greater capacities for digital data storage. This demand is only going to continue, so the infrastructure must be actively protecting their users and their data security and keeping up to date. We are going to consider what some of the key drivers for progression in development and implementation of EdTech in schools and colleges, which include the current agendas of the Department of Education, the EdTech market developers, and the consumer trends of digital apps and tech. The government have stated out a strategy for key areas of future development that needs to be addressed to successfully integrate and uptake EdTech in schools and colleges. These improvements need to be made in infrastructure, upskilling, cyber safety, and procurement services. Google and Microsoft are examples of the competitive EdTech providers who have developed integrated services platforms for educational services. There are 1,000 EdTech companies and startups in the UK, with the EdTech industry being marked at over 90 billion in 2020, and it's expected to grow by 19.9% between 2021 and 2028. So who are the developers aiming at, and what are the social cultural trends that are influencing what's being developed? The consumers of new EdTech are teachers and students. Generation Z are the first generation to grow up with phones in their hands and the biggest users of TikTok and YouTube. Experiential learning is particularly appealing to this tech-savvy generation. So we know the benefits of applying EdTech into the classroom and the effects it can have to reduce the workload, increase efficiencies, engage students and communities, and can provide tools to support excellent teaching and raise student attainment. So for effective implementation of EdTech in classrooms, investment in infrastructure and investment in accessibility and investment in training is essential. Those colleges who have successfully invested in facilitating CPD teacher training in EdTech are witnessing a shift from what was reluctance to a more positive and engagement into using technology, and the staff feeling much more confident to apply it into their lessons. Although many colleges have successfully started to invest and acquire these new technologies, in June 2021, Many UK businesses and higher education institutions together called on parliamentary leaders to step up and tackle the shortfall in resources required to support digital learning. David Sherwood from Biblu called on the government, by supporting investment in technology designed to facilitate blended learning, we can ensure that the UK is on the path to a prosperous future and provide a universal learning experience for all students that is unrestricted by personal background, physical ability and more.